Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I'm Nerdarchy Dave, and I'm joined by all these wonderful nerds, our authors and also published authors, Stephen and Megan. Links down in the description. Go check out their works, and also you can see their writings over on nerdarchy.com. Of course, we have our content director, Nerdator Doug, in the house as well. And you know that fool down up next to me on this here somewhere, I don't know, on the screen. Nerd
Yeah, I have
Artist
no
Ted.
idea where that is.
And I am Nerd Artist Dave, and I'll be your GM. Real quick, anyone want to go into what happened last session? Go around and we
Sure.
can just go over what people remember. Go ahead.
Sure. We started off fighting surf Nazi skeletons on old Salty Dog's ship, the Chug-a-Lug. And there were some strange psychoactive interactions with the goggles and the crystals on their mech suits, which drew me, Greg, into some sort of futuristic technological psychic city, which was very bizarre. And let's see, we learned that, we suspect that perhaps was an entire species on another planet that somehow had sent a spacecraft that crashed on Earth, and they were housed in these pink crystals. And we went below the waves to investigate a old Nazi submarine that was on the bottom of the ocean, which we learned about from some schematics that were from cracking the code on those crystals. And we encountered more restless spirits down there, which intrigued me because those seem to abound in this campaign. And then we attempted to sort of download or remove the psychic species from the Nazi torture device that they were in. But we think that perhaps we'd failed and that species is no more. That's what I got.
So who are you?
What's that?
I said, so who are you playing?
Oh, I'm playing Grig, who is a resilient technology adept who can separate his mind from his body.
What do you remember, Ted?
So I remember that, after we got into the ship and we began finding these bizarre crystals that, seem to be, everywhere. One of them wound up finding a way to communicate with us to, for us to realize that they're alive. So Blue had one and he adopted it, and since the crystals were all pink, we've got blue and we've got red. To him, there was no other thing that it could be called, but other than the name Pink. So he was carrying them around. I know at one point in time, the other three party members, they psycho connect to, this machine. And this is supposed to be like the housing agent of all of them. So Blue was very carefully going around and putting all of these crystals that we had collected in this nice, circle around them. And then after the explosion, which we still have to wait and find out whether the things survived, Blue doesn't know whether they're alive or dead, but I have a note of scoop up the crystals. But as I said, Blue is me. Blue is a doomed explorer who moves like a cat. And he's basically a, short monkey man.
All right. What about the other half of Blue? Red.
Oh, so Red is basically Little Red Riding Hood in a gas mask with hook swords. They're scavengers. They scavenge things, and apparently right now the things that they are scavenging are crystals. But she's a little bit concerned that Blue might be absolutely crushed by when he finds out we wiped them out. Oh yeah, and also I got in the extra scuba suit when we found it, and had bubble head going on for a while, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, by extra suit, it's kind of almost like a space marine suit.
I'm in power armor.
You are in power armor. And last but not least, Stephen, what do you got going on?
So we went underwater and we fought more of the terrible zombie Nazi creatures, and we over the course of our encounters and things, we discovered a machine that housed these pink gems in what I envisioned to be like one of those electro balls that you would like put your finger on and draw electricity. And Goggles connected with it telepathically to get confirmation that these are sort of like the soul essence of these alien people who crashed here, and if they leave this housing unit, they're going to die because they can't stand being in our atmosphere. But because he has these gems built into his suit, his alien tech submariner type suit, it's possible that he might be able to store them somehow in this suit. So he was trying to figure out how to do that and to rescue these creatures so they wouldn't die or be abandoned here. And I failed a roll that was required of me, and this pink beam of energy blasted Goggles against a wall. And that was where we left off.
Yes, almost where we left off. With the nuclear submarine, or actually not really a nuclear submarine, more like a diesel submarine that's been powered by this alien energy source. Void of that energy source, it is shutting down, and you're beginning to hear, kind of the pressure and stress of being underwater take its toll on this vessel that's been down here for a very long time. Maybe possibly even being reinforced by these alien energies. And also, Goggles is unconscious.
Goggles is unconscious? Oh, boy. To the torpedo tubes.
I pick up Goggles. I'm in
Yes.
power
Oh, yeah,
armor.
you
I
still
can do
got
that,
the
right?
power.
Yes, easily.
So Blue begins scooping up, whatever crystals he can quickly grab. Obviously, they're people; they need to be saved. So he is trying to save them.
Okay,
Blue,
so
we
you're
gotta
trying.
go.
So some of them are too big, like they're varying in sizes. Like a bunch of them are like softball size, and then there was the big one that's as big as you. And they kind of all crashed to the ground when that beam shot out.
Great.
And whatever that field was is no longer there.
So Blue is yelling to Grig. If Red's picking up Goggles, Blue's frantically, yelling at Grig to grab the big crystal.
Okay. I will. I'm pretty bulky, but I'll try to lift a big crystal and clumsily rush to where I hope we know is the torpedo tubes.
Okay.
But I am clumsy, so that actually is like I do have an inability when moving, bending, or breaking things.
Yep, which is why it's comical for me to tell you to grab it.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
but you're able to
respect
clunkily
his
do
care
that,
for these things.
and you go back to the torpedo bay, where there are a bunch of torpedoes, and they're enormous and they're hollow, and they have like doors on them, right? You could fit a person in one.
Wonderful. I was thinking we would just go in there, ourselves.
So are
But
these escape torpedoes?
Well, literally, when you guys first approached the submarine, one of the you had a torpedo shot at you. The torpedo shot at you with atomic skeletal surf Nazis inside of them.
Necessity is the mother of invention, Red. Is there any kind of controls for these things? I mean, they're probably old and stuff, but
yeah. So the way they are, they're kind of like on rails with wheels. So you could kind of like set one into the tube, and kind of like pull yourself because it'll roll right in. And there's a big like red button right by the chute itself.
Ooh, how many of them are there?
There's a bank of 4 on each side.
Oh, excellent. Get yourselves into there, and I'll put the crystal in the nearest one.
Yeah, so like if you're gonna do the crystal, you can't kind of put it in and push it in and you hit the button and it kind of closes up in here as it launches the torpedo.
Oh, I didn't mean to launch it right away, but okay. Where are they aimed towards? Yeah, I mean, are we all into this?
Yeah.
I don't want to tell you what to do, but the structural integrity is fading quickly.
Yeah, go.
You can't like shoot yourself out, right?
Yeah, you can. It's
You
like
can?
yeah. So
Oh.
so the way it is, like, you can kind of pull yourself in because the torpedoes sit on these rails that have wheels on them, so they slide in real easy. So it's like you can kind of sit in, and like you can, if you time it right, you have to like, pull yourself, hit the button, and slam the door shut.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, should we?
So no checks. It's just if it may take you a couple times to get the timing right, but you could definitely do it. Or or like someone who is more nimble could go last, and and
I'd imagine I'm like squeezing myself into this thing because I have the big bulky.
Yeah.
Trying to like squeeze into it. All right.
So you guys managed to do that and get yourselves launched. You hit the surface when they explode to the surface. They go up into there and then fall back down with a splash.
Okay.
And then kind of like sit atop and then begin to slowly sink.
So we're treading water in the ocean.
So we gotta find the big crystal and we gotta find goggles because they're not conscious.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I forgot that.
Do we see the ship anywhere?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't far from where you guys were located. So you guys, were able to get everything, get the crystals, and head back to the ship with an unconscious Goggles.
Well, we'll lay him down on the deck, first of all.
Okay. So you guys get up there and lay him down on the dock. And, as you do, like, all of his crystals kind of flare out with that pink energy you're used to seeing.
Uh-huh.
But then it just kind of keeps going. And I don't know if you're familiar with, like, the Zax villain from the Hulk.
Yeah.
Is that big energy monster.
Oh, shit.
So Goggles appears to be in the middle of that, but it's pink, right, instead of yellow. And then it just kind of, like, stands up. And you can kind of see, like, him floating in the middle of this mass of this energy creature, this bipedal energy creature. Almost looks like from if you're familiar with D&D, a fire elemental, but made of pure energy. This pink stuff, and you can see into it enough to see Goggles floating in it and seeing like those arcs of pink energy coming off of his crystals. So like he almost looks like one of those crystalline hearts of the energy creatures.
Oh, I was not expecting that.
Hi, we saved you, right? Can we have Goggles back?
Goggles. You come to, and your mind is awash with images and thoughts, and you just remember being tortured for a very long time by these beings that you've never seen before. They imprisoned you, and you witnessed the death of countless of your kind, of your people. The Giznor, you managed to escape your planet that was being destroyed, the perils of space, to finally make it to the blue planet where you thought your people would be safe. But instead, entering the atmosphere, there was something strange about the energies of this blue planet, this blue sphere, that disrupted your physical forms, and your ship crashed. Then you were awakened, when these strange beings imprisoned you, and you don't know how long. You just remember anguish, and now you're gaining your consciousness again, and you finally feel yourself more than you've felt in you don't know how long. But you're surrounded by more of these creatures that imprisoned you and have been torturing you and murdered many of your kind.
Oh gosh. If that's the case, I'm probably going to, I don't know, I'd probably actually yell out, "How could you?" and lash out at the nearest one.
Perfect. Everyone make a speed test.
Whew, boy, you're really bringing it.
13.
What's
Yeah,
our,
what's the
check?
difficulty?
It is a 5.
Ooh.
I am proficient. I'm going to go ahead and spend a point. Oh, that is a nat 20, baby.
Nice. I don't know if it does anything on
Say, it's
Any
initiative,
effort spent on the roll.
I'll give
is
you an
gained.
extra. I'll actually give you an extra action for a crit when you're.
Ted, if you spent effort, it's regained.
oh well.
Oh yeah, there's that.
I don't
Sure.
have to make my points.
If you roll at, does that succeed?
Yes.
Whew,
Yeah.
Just hit it.
And what did you get, Red?
13.
Okay. Goggles also give me a speed check.
Okay.
But you know what? It's not for you. It is a speed check, but actually, if you're going to invest anything in it, it's going to come off of your intellect, which I will say is restored.
Oh, it is restored?
Yeah.
Okay. I had 3 missing. So now I'm back at 10. I don't have a lot of intellect. I'm not a thinker.
Yeah.
All right. I got a 19.
Okay. So, Blue, you're going to go first.
Oh, that was for that. I thought it was to not get whacked.
Blue is Blue. You know, he understands that this thing is attacking, but he's still like, I don't know. This is difficult. So I think like, all right, I'll let you gauge with the extra action. I want to put the crystals on the deck of the ship and say, you know, we freed you. Like, please, you know, we're your friends. We weren't those below. And see if there's any reaction.
Okay. Goggles, give me a intellect check. You're going to have an inability on this, so that's going to be a 6.
6 after the inability?
Yes.
Okay.
Because right now you're under extreme duress.
14. So I didn't succeed.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, you're kind of trapped in yourself, and you're being assailed by all these images, and you're really having trouble sorting out Goggles from the creatures that you've invited in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they've definitely have been able to make your worked crystals work for that.
So this does not, you know, it's still continuing to appear hostile.
Yes.
So, you know,
it's like when Greg makes his angry emoji face. It's like that.
with basically like a tear in his eye, Blue unslings the rifle, and I guess I'll take a shot.
Oh no!
He's not happy about this. So that is a 14.
14 is going to miss. It hits, but like it just evaporates when it hits the creature. You can feel the heat of the intense energy coming off of it. And then I think, was it you next, Greg?
Does this boat have any kind of?
Oh no, Goggles got a 19, right?
Yeah. I had an 18.
Okay. Goggles, you can, if you wish to, you may enter into kind of like you can battle the creature in your mind, essentially.
Okay.
You're trying to
I want to try to do that.
Okay. So, so right now, you're essentially a being of pure intellect. So everything is going to go through there for you, unfortunately.
Great. Okay.
So what is it you would like to do? So you kind of like see that like astral projection of your mind in the mindscape, and you are just surrounded by these creatures with the crystalline heart, with the the sparks of electricity coming off it, forming these energy beings. They're kind of surrounding you like a mob, and you can just like feel the anger that's coming off of them as they try and rip at your psyche.
Okay. I will try to I will look at them and I'll say, look, I don't want any trouble. We were trying to help you. What do you need right now? So I'm just trying to figure out what they want.
Yeah.
And trying to get them to think in a state that they're wanting to respond instead of just like lash out in anger, like actually getting a rational response from them.
Yeah. So, in your character, did you have something for like interactions?
I do. I have a training in pleasant social interactions.
Okay. So we're trying to work towards that. So I'm going to say that's going to put you at the 5.
At 5. Okay, I'm going to use a level of effort to bring that down to a 4. So that makes it 12.
Okay.
Okay.
Manageable.
Nope. I rolled a 2. Is 2 bad? Is 2 like one of the critical bads?
No, just it's a 1.
Okay. So yeah, I failed.
Okay. Also, I meant to say this when we started, but actually, this is essentially a GM intrusion on goggles. So you have an XP and you can give someone else an XP.
Okay. I will give one to Red.
Okay. All right. Now it is Greg.
Oh, does the Chug-a-Lug have one of those PA things, so like the captain can like talk on the, like a
you
CB.
glance around and you see like a CB or a PA.
A PA.
Yeah, you glance around and you can see the speakers.
Is Captain Meatball nearby?
Captain Meatball is usually wandering the ship, or within the captain pilots the vessel from.
Okay. I'm going to use Far Step to get to the captain's, area quickly, which basically just is like an anti-gravity.
Yeah, all right. So you kind of do that. You jump over there.
If Captain Meatball is in there, I'll use him, and if not, I'll do my best to attempt to transmit his purring sound, because it seemed to placate these creatures when he was nesting on Pink. So that's what I'm going to try to do, because I think it seemed like it had some effect with the pink crystal. So maybe if it's amplified.
Okay. So
and if it makes any difference, I do have an energy pack from my starring equipment, so I'll juice up the thing if I can.
What do you
I don't know what an energy pack does, but
yeah, what are you gonna do to try and get Captain Meatball to purr?
I'm gonna just like scritch both sides of his neck right here like this.
Okay.
Like at the same time.
So give me a make the cat purr check.
Okay. What do I roll for that?
You know what? I'm gonna say it's gonna go from a 2 to just a 1. So basically, if you don't make a 1, you'll make him purr because he likes to purr.
Awesome. So Captain Meatball, it's up to you now.
Although you do have that inability, bringing you back up to 2 because it's a physical dexterity.
That's true. Well, I rolled 11.
So you get him purring real good. And also, like, so you pick him up to do that and move him over to the speaker thing, the thing you talk into, and you notice something really strange. One, he's even heavier than he appeared before, and 2, that big pink crystal is embedded in his chest, and he seems a little bit bigger than he was before.
Captain Meatball. There's more. I knew there was more to you than meets the eye.
And
Heard like your symbiotic species' existence depends on it.
and as you know, as he starts to purr, you can feel the reverberations kind of coming off him. He kind of purred loud before, but it seems a little amplified, and now you're putting it over the speaker, right? So it's coming through.
Right.
And that brings us back to the creature, which give me a defense, or give me an intellect goggles of. It's going to be actually only going to be a 4. The purring seems to be disrupting the vibrations from the creature.
Yeah.
Unmute. 17.
17. So, as these psychic versions of these creatures begin lashing out at you, you're able to easily fend them off, and they also feel distracted because you feel these vibrations coming through. And while it seems to be having a negative effect on them, it seems to be bolstering you.
Okay, so it's bolstering me. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Ted, you're before the creature, and what's that?
Did Red go?
I don't think Red went.
No, Red did not go yet. Red is you because you rolled like an 11 or 12, right?
Yeah.
You were before the creature trying to placate it and convince it to be like, hey, Goggles, you're in there somewhere. And it is going to try and slam down on you. Give me a speed check. It is a 5.
I will spend a degree of effort. Let's bring it to a 9. It's a 19. It's a crit.
Okay, yeah. So you easily roll out of the way. And then where its fist slams down, there's a scorch mark left on the deck. And its form is beginning to waver a little bit. Red.
Okay, so you know how in 5e you can just say I'm doing non-lethal damage and fight something without killing it? Does that apply here? Can I just turn my swords around and hit it with the back side?
You can try that. I mean, it's made of pure energy. You can definitely try and avoid Goggles without too much of an issue. But as to whether you'll be able to do lethal energy to a ball of it.
Oh, I'm trying specifically not to do lethal. I'm just trying to keep it busy so that my friends can do actually useful stuff.
Okay.
So I'm gonna swing.
So because you're wearing the power armor still, you have an asset.
Ooh. That's gonna be a 19.
Oh, that's a crit. So you're gonna do your normal damage, which actually you're doing a little bit higher damage because we bumped you up one level for integrating your weapons with the power armor, and then you're going to get a bonus damage for the crit. What is that? Is that a 3?
I think
4 for a 20.
No, 19.
No, it's a 19.
Yeah, plus 3.
Yeah, and a minor effect or a minor effect, right?
Or a minor effect.
Yeah. So do you want to do the extra damage or do you want to do a minor effect?
Would a minor effect apply to trying to keep this thing's eyes on me and away from, the other stuff that's going on so that my friends aren't getting hit?
Yeah, I would absolutely do that.
So I'm going to come in. I'm going to swing. I'm going to be like, eyes on me.
Okay. So we are back to you, Blue.
All right. Well, I mean, physical objects are still apparently working because Red just hit it. So does this thing seem to have a fair bit of reach? Is it attacking physically?
Yeah, it's just reaching, but I mean the thing is like probably 10 foot tall.
How far away is like the top of the captain's cabin?
You could get there pretty easily. I mean, you're a very proficient climber as well.
Yeah. All right, so I want to get up there and shoot.
Okay. Going for the high ground.
Man, this die is rolling on fire tonight. That is another 19.
Okay. Damage or minor effect?
Well, I'm just gonna go for the damage. So, did we say the rifle was a 4?
I believe so.
I don't think it's heavy. I don't think.
Yeah, it's not heavy. It's the 4.
All right, so then I guess that would be 7 damage.
So this thing's form is wavering quite a bit. You guys have actually racked up a bit of damage on it so far. The parrying that's going on, it doesn't seem to like very much. Goggles, you are still inside of it, and you're getting flashes of kind of what's going on outside, almost like you're looking through like a haze.
So I'll be like, oh no, don't hurt them. They're trying to help us. And I want to look for the biggest one of these energy beings standing around me.
Okay.
And I want to just give it a hug.
Okay, so you run up and hug it.
Yes. It's okay. It's okay.
All right. So give me a 4 to see if you can influence it.
Okay. Do I spend intellect to try to bring it down for effort?
That is entirely up to you.
All right. I'm going to bring it down with effort. So I've got 1 level of effort into it. So my intellect is very low, but
so that's a 9. You just need a 9 or better.
A 9. I got a 10.
That is better than a 9. You run over to the biggest one and hug it.
Yes.
And something very unexpected happens. The mob begins coalescing into the one, and it begins like growing and getting bigger to the point where you're like hugging like a leg.
Okay.
And intuitively, you know now that this is kind of at this point all one being.
Mm-hmm.
And it awkwardly like reaches down to hug you back. And but like it's a very awkward hug. Like it doesn't really know what it's doing or what you're doing. It seems to be just kind of mimicking what's going on.
Interesting.
Rig, you're up.
Okay.
Okay. You know what? Realize I'm almost tapped on my pool, so I'm gonna use my comm link and just try to talk to Goggles. I don't know if you can hear me, and I'll say, Goggles, I don't have enough psychic energy to help you the way I suspect you could use, but Captain Meatball has absorbed one of these crystals as well. It makes me think perhaps they can survive if, like you and Captain Meatball, they join with some other kind of organic creature. I don't know what's going on your side, but Blue did manage to grab many of those crystals, including a really large one. And I mean, we are in the ocean. Maybe I don't know if like a whale or something could bond with them, but I think maybe there is a way if they could, and they seem to be surviving right now in some form. So if you could just calm them down, or we'll do what we can.
So Greg communicates through your comm, and like you hear it like far away, but you can hear it, but you can't respond to it because you're still kind of you're still trapped in your mind, in your psyche.
Okay. And then I'll shout down to them if I have time on my turn to Blue and Red and Captain. So I tried. I think if we can just keep it calm, there might be a peaceful way out of this. Basically, is what I'm expressing. If I have time on my turn, that's it.
Yeah. So you're kind of at the the captain's station where he pilots.
I'm at the PA.
Yeah, where he pilots from. And you're holding it so Captain Meatball can kind of like power into it, and
I keep scratching him.
His his gem is kind of like pulsing, but pulses brighter as he purrs, and he like begins looking like out the window, kind of intently. Because you guys can see what's going on, and he leaps out of your arm and kind of turns into one of those pink energy creatures.
Whoa!
Except for he still looks like Captain Meatball, only pink in energy, and actually like phases through the window, the glass, to land in front of the creature, and it just kind of like does that like cat like really regal sit up tall thing that they do, and just like puts his head up and begins purring and trilling, and it begins like the crystal begins pulsing outward further and further, and then the creature begins to like pulse as well, and it's like ripples of energy meeting each other and like bouncing back, but like each time it bounces back, like it gets the ones coming out from Captain Meatball comes a little bit closer to the creature, almost like pushing it back.
Does it look like it's like communicating, or does it look like it's like an intellectual challenge kind of thing?
It kind of looks like a game of Pong or something, to be honest with you. Until finally the creature kind of like stumbles back and falls into Goggles, and you hear Goggles kind of moaning as he kind of slumps to the rail and is sitting there, and his gems are just kind of pulsing until they slowly begins to fade. And while that's all going on, the gems in Red's power armor kind of begins syncing up with what's going on. And then as the pulsings fade, the gems in Red's power armor like completely kind of goes out, and Goggles, you kind of like groggily begin coming to, as Pink and Captain Meatballs comes over to you and is like staring intently in your face, purring.
Oh, hi, Captain Meatball, and I like stroke him.
And he gives you, he gives you basically a headbutt. It's adorable and slightly painful.
Yeah. Yep. I love you too. I love you too.
Because his head is the size of a softball.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's right. He grew.
Well, yeah, it's actually a little bit bigger now.
Size of a basketball.
I guess Blue would scurry down and come over to see what's going on. Hey guys, what happened? I thought
you're asking me.
And as you come to Goggles, the voices kind of settle down and quiet.
Is everyone okay on this end?
Yeah, I think.
I'm gonna say on the P, like, is he okay?
Why is Captain Meatball so big? What's going on?
He is big.
You hear like a chuffing sound coming from around the other side of the cabin, and what? Captain Meatballs, did you get into the PA again? What are you doing? As an old salty dog, he's kind of preceded by the smoke that's coming from his corncob pipe, and his telltale yellow rain slickers and captain hat and boots tromping. As he comes around the corner, you see the smoke and then the snout of this German Shepherd, humanoid dog man with patches of gray poking through. What's going on out here? I was down in the hold, and then I heard the PA, and then there was some thumping. Is there more of those fire skeletons?
Far from it, sir.
So I'll ask again. What actually happened? Because the thing blew up, Goggles got knocked across the room, and then the ship started breaking. What happened?
Well, those people, the pink ones, they were there. They were here. They're here. And he points to the gem. I think they're inside me now. And they were angry, and I wanted them to be calm, and I think they hurt you guys, and I'm so sorry they hurt you guys. And like, I don't know, they're quiet now. I think they understand that we wanted to help them.
I'm fine. Are they fine? And like he picks up one of the crystals from the pile, and like he's holding it up as does it react in any way, shape, or form like it did before?
No, they're very inert.
Those ones are dead.
What?
Oh.
Once they were pulled out of that chamber, they died. But when they came in here, they were able to still live, and they were very angry and hurt. And I just kind of begin describing all the different emotions that I was feeling. And it felt very much like a thing that Greg describes whenever he's doing his mind thing. That's really what that felt like.
Oh. So now what? Did we help them or did we not help them?
I think we helped them. I think they'll help us now too. Can I tell if they're still inside there or if they kind of just like released or?
Yeah, so you kind of start probing around, and kind of reflecting inward, and you do feel something in there. This kind of sense of this like quiet anger, this like quiet rage that's been kind of like subdued. But it's like just there beneath the surface.
Okay. They're not happy yet, but I think they're cautious. I mean, our kind have never done anything but hurt them. So they need to learn that they can trust us.
We didn't do anything but help them.
They don't know that.
What did we do?
We took them out of their container where they were safe.
Well, when you were experiencing their feelings and their emotions, and you were kind of seeing the world through their eyes, when you looked at your companions, you did not see a difference between the Nazi scientists and them. They looked the same to you for all intents and purposes. It could have been the same. You don't believe they differentiate between them, and also they may not even perceive the way we do, because they're not exactly corporeal beings like we are.
Mm. They need to learn that there's differences between us and the things that took them. They don't know that yet, but they will.
No, I still don't think it's fair.
What's not fair?
Yeah, we tried to help and they tried to hurt.
When you've been hurt by other people, sometimes it's hard to accept help because you don't know the difference, and you just don't want to, you don't want to trust anyone because you can get hurt again.
There's some sense there, but he kind of looks down at the pile of crystals.
Trust takes time, Blue. And sometimes trust never comes all the way, and that's okay. As long as healing happens.
We didn't meet all that long ago, and I trust you.
Right, but nobody like you ever hurt me.
Well, They didn't look like the guys in the ship.
Yeah. Well, when you're hurting, sometimes it's hard to notice differences like that too. It's okay though. They'll learn with time.
So what do we do now? Are we gonna still go after the marinara sauce?
We have to.
Greg, you would know. It's possible they've been down there with their captors for 130 or more years in that state.
I am like this close to being knocked out. I have no intellect pool, 4 speed, and 10 in my might. So I was imagining he saw that Goggles was like breathing and just was like, I'm gonna shut down for a minute. I blew my intellect getting up to Captain Meatball.
I'm in fairly, fantastic shape. I'm literally only down 2 speed at the moment. So
it's a roller coaster ride, man.
Literally, one of those points was, was just, spent. So I wasn't, really in that explosion. So I didn't have as much issue.
So yeah, I pretty much just saw like he's moving. Okay. I'm gonna take a break.
Yeah, I need to sleep. I need to sleep.
So, Red, right now the power armor has powered down, and you're kind of in it.
Oh, good. Sure.
So does it let Red out, or is there a way to get it to go back on? Or
Well, it is. Well, there might be a like a manual release. If you poke around, you can get. It may take you some time. You can get out, or you have to figure out how to make it power up again.
Yeah, I'm trying to poke around on the inside.
So you can.
Is it big enough that you can actually like go like down into it and like
It probably is, because Red's not very very big. Definitely Blue could. Goggles maybe not.
They're both in there like rewiring stuff, hot wiring it.
If there's any way that if Red wants help, I could certainly do. I'm nimble. I don't have a whole lot of skills with technology, but
so essentially it's just going to be this awkward moment where it's like, guys, I'm stuck. And then,
okay, so that moment when your dad is like trying to put something together and like is just too stubborn to look at the instructions. That's me for the moment. So I don't say anything, but you see me struggling a little bit.
I got it.
Yeah.
It's just all facial expressions because the body is not moving at all.
It's fine. I got this.
Yeah. So you guys, if you want to do whatever recovering, you can do that now. The rest of the trip down the coast is uneventful unless you guys want to do something. Because someone mentioned about putting a crystal in a well. I kind of want to see this happen now.
That was me. But they're all dead now. I mean, yeah. What is this, like a days? Like, were we fast forwarding like days here? Or?
Just a couple days, yeah.
Oh, I mean, I probably would just talk to Goggles about his experience, and because I missed that whole conversation, and also meet Captain Meatball. I mean, Blue, you were kind of sad about that, right? But Pink is still alive. He's embedded in Captain Meatball.
Well, that was the big crystal, the one that.
Yeah, that was the one that. No, he had the one that you set him on that he was purring on. The first one you found, the Pink. The one you named Pink. Yeah, you left him sitting on it up in there, and he absorbed it while we were gone, right? Isn't that what you said? I mean, he had already had it in him when we get back.
So Blue definitely.
Wait a minute. That means it's possible for them to still perhaps work because that one wasn't in the machine. And then
it not
interacted with Captain Meatball and became some kind of symbiotic relationship with him.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah, Goggles. I mean, if you're able to send any kind of message to these, what did you call them? Giznor people?
Giznor, yep. Also, but there's also a difference. The stones that came out, the crystals that came out of the machine, are unworked.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right. That the one that came
Yeah.
from one of the surf Nazis, right?
Yes, Blue was able to salvage like the biggest one, and that's the one he kind of kept and named.
Okay.
And they are kind of similar to goggles. They're slightly different because they are even more cut. Where goggles are actually, yours are all smooth, right?
Mm-hmm.
But worked, which means there's some other entity that manipulated these stones in a different way. That's what you have in your suit. So there is some hope. Perhaps if we could find some technique of cutting or fashioning these in a particular way that enables them to connect with another organic being and form some kind of bond.
So Blue definitely pockets one of the quote unquote dead crystals and then asks, do we do
Interesting.
like a graveyard burial, or do we take them onto land and bury them?
Oh no. I think there's still hope for the Giznor people.
But I thought they were dead.
They might be inert in these crystals. They could be living on as psychic residue. Perhaps Captain Meatball's purring suggests that some sort of sonic or frequency or resonance is involved. There's all manner of unusual things we could look into, but perhaps if we could find some technique of, working or polishing these stones, particularly that big one, still got that's still on my corkboard of getting a symbiotic whale, but we might be able to help these people still.
And and Goggles, there are a bunch of them stuffed in you right now. But at the same time, you get this vibe that they're separate and the same all at once. So almost like they've been too close together for too long, and they've bonded in maybe an unhealthy way.
Oh, so like a hive mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
You express that to us, or
probably to Greg on one of our conversations.
Well, then I would be careful, because that could be a powerful psychic force and it may try to influence you against your will, or who knows what.
All right. My suggestion.
Well, first off, how long does it take Red to get out of the power?
Not that long. With 15 minutes or less, and they're out.
Yeah, Red's pretty accomplished.
Yeah. So
messing with things.
My suggestion. If we can't just, get rid of these things, like we can't bury them if there's a chance that we can revive them, but at the same time, it's probably not the best idea to go around carry, we need some way to traffic them so that it doesn't look like we're just carrying around a bunch of crystals that people are going to be like, hey, we should probably steal those, right?
Absolutely. Yes, we definitely don't want these to fall into the wrong hands.
My best suggestion would be to maybe set them into some kind of jewelry, and then remember that these are people and that we're trying to help them, and just have it be a significant thing, just remember the significance of what these things are, and just I don't
hide
know.
them in plain sight.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it. How big is the big crystal?
The big crystal is the size of Blue.
Oh, so, okay,
well,
yeah.
the smaller ones anyway.
Yeah, that one probably not so much, but yeah, the other one's good.
So, I will kind of say, making things into jewelry is only gonna make them more interesting for somebody who likes to, pick stuff up, as he's getting the all shifty eyes. Getting things out of sight is actually, far better than hiding in plain sight when it comes to shinies.
Okay, what would you suggest?
How about the moon?
Fabric, wrap it up and put it at the bottom of our pack and leave it there until we get more information?
I don't, whatever you want to do, but I do have Old Salty Dog speaks up. I do have a little bit of a hidden vault down in the cargo hold below. Sometimes pirates board and they're going to take what they take, so I put some of the more valuable stuff and kind of hide it away.
That
You
seems
old salty
reasonable.
dog.
So
At least for the big one. I mean, that one looks like it'd be tough to lug around.
Yep.
Believe me. Yeah.
So Blue
No.
gets this, little bit of puffed up chest for this little 3 foot tall blue monkey, and he's like, "Are you gonna protect this?" Basically, he's just, quote unquote, sizing him up, even though he's like twice my size.
I'm like standing behind Blue and just giving this really amused nod, like say yes.
Yeah, I'll do my best. And what did you do to my cat?
Oh, I believe your cat is hosting a psychic entity from another planet right now.
Yep, that.
Yeah, you ever seen a dog when it gets that dumb look on its face?
Yes.
He totally does that. Like you just broke him a little bit.
Don't worry, I think Captain Meatball can protect the crystal and you and the Chug-a-Lug.
Yeah, he's been acting a little strange since you guys left and gave him that crystal to play with. First, he wouldn't leave it alone. Then it disappeared, and now it's in his chest.
Yeah,
Is that gonna hurt him?
I don't think so. He seems pretty tough. In fact, I suspect he was unusual long before he ever encountered those pink crystals.
Well, yeah, he is my special little guy, and rubs him on his head.
He is a very special little guy, aren't you, Captain Meatball?
Yeah, and then Captain Meatball turns and kind of sits up, and now he's even closer to Blue's height than he was before, and he gives you an affectionate headbutt in your chest, and it's kind of like getting hit by a mini battering ram.
So Blue just rolls over.
So yeah, and then so essentially, if there's anything you guys want to do on the ship, you absolutely can. If not, we'll just get to the disembarkment.
Okay. I mean, I'm cool, but if...
Yeah.
At one point during the trip, Red is absolutely going to discover Goggles writing Captain Meatball Blue fanfic.
I read it. I leave a review. It's glowing.
So Goggles, over the next 2 days, your sleep is a little troubled as you have dreams of this distant world and these strange energy beings. You find yourself catching snippets of many conversations, but really, it's just, to you, it kind of sounds like, if you've ever been close to power lines and you hear them kind of like hum, crackle.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't really make out what they're saying, but you feel like they're communicating with each other. During these dreams, you don't believe it's the active entities that are kind of living in your crystals now. You believe these are echoes or memories from them.
So like ghosts, psychic ghosts.
Kind of like that.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Or maybe Goggles is seeing their dreams.
Okay. Yeah, he will just, if he's sort of able to lucid dream with these, he will just kind of try to be reassuring and supportive and like, it's okay. Like, we're going to help you. We're going to work together. We're going to do great things. We're going to stop Marinara from owning all of the pasta. It's going to be the best thing.
So you guys find yourself disembarking in what Greg would know to be Delaware.
Oh,
Once upon a time.
so hey, if we want to start a business, we should headquarter it here. Under my breath.
So do you mention that it was called Delaware?
Sure, yeah. If I knew that, yeah, I'd be like, oh, was once called Delaware. Probably would have taken us much longer to get here by land, and we got to see the beautiful Atlantic Ocean shoreline.
So were they constantly confused?
No more than any other humanoids.
Well, if they don't know where they're at.
They're right there.
Oh, you said Delaware. And
Della there. I'll point to the shore.
I never heard it called that, but
What is it? What do people call it now? It's the old salty dog.
well,
Good to know the parlance of one's time.
we just call it down there.
Down there.
Yeah, this is our down under. You know, because it's under New Manhattan.
Oh, right.
so
You know, but
Do they throw shrimp on the Barbie?
I don't know what
Never
that
mind.
is.
I would be crushing it back in my own time.
wait,
Yeah,
I heard
I
somebody-
saw a shrimp one time, but it was bigger than blue.
A jumbo shrimp?
I guess.
That's what's called an oxymoron. It's one of the more classic ones.
Yeah, I don't know. I found the book, right, and it
Really?
said, yeah, and I saw a picture of it, and it said shrimp, and we had caught one before, except for the book made it seem like they were small, but this was not.
Yes. Maybe it was butterfly. They seem much bigger that way.
So I heard Barbie was a toy. Why would you put food on a toy?
You heard that. That's wonderful, Blue.
I was, somebody talked about it once.
Was it Ancient Adam?
No, I think it was somebody since before I met Red.
Well, perhaps we'll discover the answer to that mystery in Delaware.
Well, artifacts of the past do kind of find their way up. So there is one pier that down under here that's been maintained that I'm able to pull the chug-a-lug up to. And you can disembark. And he laughs
Is there
at his
actually
own
like
joke.
a settlement of some kind? A city? People living there?
Well, it's more of a pop-up market.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if they'll be there today or not. It's kind of random.
Interesting.
And
What will you do from here, old salty dog? Are you heading back to New Manhattan?
well, I didn't know if you were going to need me to ferry you back, if you're going to try and make it back by land.
Boy, I got to tell you, I don't even know what's going to happen when we step off your ship. To be honest, I wouldn't want to hold.
Oh,
I will. I'll tell you what. I'll take her back out onto the ocean, and
Okay.
Here, take this, and he gives you a flare gun.
Oh,
Fire this from the pier, and I'll come get you.
That's so cool.
and likewise, if you run into any undue trouble, you still have that. Was it a psychic communicator that I gave him? Or you can sell it. It's up to you.
I will hold on to it for now, and if it doesn't appear that I'm going to die and need it, then perhaps I will sell it.
Excellent. I mean,
But-
old salty dog, it's really been a fantastic sea voyage with you.
Well, we're happy, to help out where we can, and you're doing such great work for the city. I heard about the whole Barafin thing. We could use,
Oh, you heard about
we
that.
need heroes like the lot of you in these dark days.
I'll rib red and say, you hear that? We're heroes.
You guys certainly are.
Sure.
So you're not upset about Captain Pink Meatball, right?
Well, he seems happy enough.
Oh, please
Although he
don't
looks a
call
lot
him that.
bigger. He's probably going to eat way more than he did before.
Sorry, he was supposed to be, protecting the crystal in case we didn't come back. The crystal was alive, and I didn't mean for it to fuse to your cat.
It looks like he took his job a little bit too serious. But he kind of gives you like a little bit of a side eye. But cats. Yeah. So in the distance, as you kind of like you're chugging along up to the pier, one of the things you see is a big white and blue striped tent, kind of like poking up top above the rubbles and stuff, and like a almost like a circus tent
Mhm.
kind of looks like. And Blue, you spot a wagon that's kind of like parked off to the side, and it looks familiar. If you haven't seen it, you've definitely heard of it.
Do tell.
You heard of these wagons carting off blue spider monkey people?
Oh well, there's definitely some of that in Blue's past. So he sees the wagon. He's certainly gonna like slink down. Basically making himself as small as possible.
And with that, you guys are at the pier and easy enough to hop off. And old salty dog bids you a farewell and safe travels. Hopefully, your quest will be successful and you'll be back home to New Manhattan in no time.
When /
Yes.
if I notice that Blue looks nervous, I'm gonna stand real close and just get all defensive, protective, that sort of thing. I got your back.
Typically, Blue is like has no problems being out in front. First one to go. He sees himself, as bad stuff is going to happen, and there's no preventing it. But like here, he's hemming and hawing, looking, not hiding behind Red because Goggles and Grig are even bigger than she is, so he's hiding behind them, and
Okay.
always like, on somebody's heels. It's probably a couple of times like, they'll go to step or step back, and he's
It's taking lessons from Captain Meatball.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, if you are specifically trying more to hide behind Grig and Goggles, then Red will just make it a point to be a little bit more extra, just make it a point to be a little bit more like try to be noticeable so that people aren't looking at you.
Interesting.
I like that. I suppose after a couple of times of bumping into us, I might ask Blue, like, are you all right? Seem a little more skittish than normal.
So he doesn't even say anything. He just kind of points towards, where he saw the cart, and just kind of doesn't say a word. Quick point of order, Dave. The cipher that I used last session to get down to the submarine, that was a once and done, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Just making sure I can properly erase it.
That is the nature of ciphers.
It is the nature of ciphers.
They're mysterious.
What, that card is what's bothering you? I mean, we can go and smash it if you want. And he just makes the giant crab claw and he's like, do you want me to tear it apart? Chomp, chomp.
Does he have an undue phobia of carts, Red?
This is the first time this has happened. That I know of, anyway.
Blue will, kind of, I guess, pull you guys aside. My memory's not all that great. As I said, from the best of my recollection, I'm a lot younger than you guys. But when I was very little, there wasn't much of what I would call a family. That were people like me. And the one day they just all kind of disappeared, and I saw a cart like that with people like me being taken away. Like I said, I don't really remember, so I can only assume those were, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, something along those lines. That's my earliest memory.
All right,
And they didn't take you away?
I don't know why. Maybe I was too small. Maybe I was buried too high in the tree or too deep in the hole. I don't know.
Blue, do you want to disrupt them, or are you too afraid to do this? Because you don't have to. We don't have to. But if you want to, well, I don't mind smashing them up.
I mean, if they're the ones who are taking people, then they should be stopped. But it's one of those things that when you're little, things that are bigger have a bigger impact. It's kind of like that.
Yeah, it's true.
And I'm kind of always little, so I was little.
So as you guys are having this conversation, are you guys like moving down the pier? Are you at the pier?
No, I pulled them like off to the side or in an alley, somewhere that was kind of like out of a thoroughfare.
Okay. So one, as you kind of get off the pier, you can find an alley to do that in, but you also hear the sounds of the bustle of activity. So you're thinking it might be a market day. But also, you're hearing, someone calling out to come see the show.
What do you want to do, Blue? Like, we support you no matter what. If that means smashing, we're all about smashing.
Honestly, I think information first is always best, and unless it's stealing. Stealing I don't usually think about first, but I don't want to hurt people that aren't supposed to be hurt. But if they're supposed to be hurt, we should hurt them.
All right, so spy, make sure these are the people, and then smash if we gotta.
I don't remember the people. That's the problem. I can only remember looking out of my home and seeing people like me going away and them looking unhappy. That's it.
Well, it seems to me that if these guys are slavers, then they're probably still slavers, and they probably have people in their wagons. And if they have people in their wagons that don't want to be there, then we smash them.
Okay. That tracks.
If you want, I can take a peek inside that tent. Was that cart over by the tent?
This one was a little bit off, closer to the pier, and if you kind of look around, you can find more of them. Also, like the tent, as you guys kind of move down the pier, you can see that there's like pennant flags flying. And they got like little blue monkey heads on them. And then stitched on some of them, the words read the Blue Monkey Circus or the Blue Spider Monkey Circus.
Huh. Are there locks on the cages? Can we ascertain that?
If you want to go examine, you can.
Did Blue say he was taken from his home, or those people were taken from your home?
Yeah, the what he would best recollect as family was.
Were they also speaking creatures and stuff?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So right, that was just clarifying.
So you go to check out the wagons, and they do have locks on the cages, but none of them are in there right now. Ted, take an XP and you can give one out.
So this is one time where I actually can, because it's only every other.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it's a flip. So I've been trying to keep track of balancing factors. I think this one should be going to Grig.
Oh, all right. Thank you very much.
So stepping around the other side of the cart, you didn't see a very large, bald, muscular man that is kind of liver spotted. Except for his skin is kind of tan and he's got these pinks. He almost looks spotted at this point. He's got a huge, handlebar mustache, and the big hand claps down on the back of your shoulder and kind of lifts you up and he says, "What are you doing out here? You should be inside with the rest doing the show."
There's a shing. My swords are out of their sheaths. I am pointing them at this old man's neck. I'm like, this one is not one of yours. Do not.
Can I deck him?
At the same time, I will take my my horseman saber that I got off of the off of the submarine, and that's going for his neck.
Okay. So I'm gonna say like this event is really traumatic for Blue, and everything's going on. So you're kind of at a disability for now.
Makes perfect sense to me.
Okay. And let's see, guys. Give me your speed checks, and we'll see what order you go in.
17.
14.
So I have a 14. I am proficient in, initiative checks, but I'm at a disadvantage, so I guess I would counter.
Yeah.
I rolled a 1.
Okay. So the three of you give me a speed check against Greg stumbling into you guys.
Oh no. What's our difficulty here?
It's just gonna be a 3.
18.
All right,
I also got an 18.
Oh no.
All right, so everything's at a disadvantage, so I failed.
So the two of you easily get out of the way. Greg is now kind of between this guy and Red and Goggles, and Blue is Samus between the guy and Greg at this point, which is going to further hamper Greg and Blue as you guys are kind of like tied up. But Goggles, you can go first.
Okay, I'm going to say pick up somebody your own size, and I just hit him with the crab claw.
Okay, so he's got a little bit of cover, so it's a 3, which will go up to a 4, but go ahead.
Okay. I got a 17.
Cover.
Yes, you. So 17, yeah, whack. That's a crit, so that's an extra point of damage.
Ooh, okay. So he takes 7 damage.
And okay, yeah, he reels back from that, kind of groggy. Red?
Oh, just gonna put that sword right up against his whatever artery I'm close enough to reach. Like, big threat.
Well, if he's lifting me up, the underarm is a good one.
Yep, that's good. Like, can I go under both arms? Like, just
Yeah, make the attack. And it'll be kind of readied.
15.
Yeah, easily. Even with like Greg and Blue in the way, you kind of like are able to slide right around Greg. Yeah, kind of like that. And then Blue, what are you doing?
So I'm gonna take a swing.
So you got 2 levels of difficulty between being fouled and scared.
All right, so I will spend a point. So he's a 5.
Yeah.
So it's really a 7 brought down to.
No, he was a 3 brought up to a 5.
Oh, okay, all right. So then, so I will spend the effort to bring it down to a 4, and I fail. That's a 9.
Yeah, your sword gets tangled with Greg, and when you're actually pulling it out, so you actually like the hilt is. The pommel is bouncing off the soft spaceman suit.
It's making like a
yeah.
I would say probably between the space. Like I go to draw and there's just not enough room.
Yeah.
To fully unsheath it, I guess you could say. So.
But that being said, he's got those hook swords under his arms, his armpits, and he's looking. He kind of like glances down at them. Looks at Blue. Whoa, little lady. What are you talking about? We own all these monkeys here in these parts.
If it can speak, if it can desire things, if it can express those desires to you, then you don't own it.
once you put the shock collars on them for a while, they stop
I cut him.
expressing every.
Yes.
How much damage do you do?
Do I need to roll again?
No. You don't have to roll for the damage. It's just how much do you do?
Oh, okay.
The hook swords are 4, right? They're medium.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
8.
Yeah. He starts gurgling as you kind of like slice into him, and he drops to his knees. And releases Blue and kind of like reaches for where the swords are, but he's slumps forward and is just kind of like dying in his own blood right now.
Oh God, is he dying in my arms? Bleeding all over?
Yeah, he slid down you, like smearing red.
This is why my cloak is red. I will gladly just watch this man bleed to death.
Yeah.
Wow.
And having witnessed that, Blue, your inability is gone.
Are you okay, Blue?
I'm actually more angry than anything else. You said something about shock collars?
So smash, yes.
Yeah. Do we have anything to make fire?
Actually,
We
I
can't
pull
burn
out the
down
lighter that you gave me before.
we can't burn down this tent. There's probably people just innocent people, audience people in there.
We could
They
just
may
walk
be complicit, but
Right.
burning them to death.
What
We could just walk in and say, anyone who's not a slaver, get out.
What kind of lock is on this cage? Is it like a padlock that can be removed, or is it like a built-in scenario?
It's a mix. Like in this place in this time, people cobble together whatever they can find. So there is 4 wagons that look like they're used to held captives, and 2 of them have padlocks that go on the outside, and 2 of them have locks built right into the door.
Did our current thing draw a crowd? Is there a scene?
No, because it seems like most of the residents of the settlement are at the tent. He did mention you should be performing right now.
Are there any shock collars visibly available at present that aren't being used?
Any what?
Any shock collars that currently aren't being used and are visible?
Shock colors?
Shock collars.
Shock collars. Okay.
Shot collars.
So give me kind of like a salvage check. So let's make that an intellect check. Whoever wants to do it and look around and see. It's probably gonna be a 4 to see if you can find something quickly.
I got an
Through their
11. I missed
stuff.
it by 1.
9 for me. Nope.
So no, there doesn't appear to be any with them. Maybe they're all in use, or maybe they keep them somewhere else in the tent.
Okay.
Like over here, it's just all the cage wagons. So there's probably like the help is probably somewhere else along with whoever's running the circus.
All right. So what do you guys think? Like, how do we want to handle this situation?
I liked Red's plan. I'm good at smashing things. Let's go.
However you want to handle this.
Yeah, so you guys kind of go into the main thoroughfare. You see the tent. You see there's clearly an entrance.
Hold on. I was waiting for Blue to let us know what we were doing. This is
Blue
his circus.
Blue is having serious issues making choices at this moment. He's actually looking to all of you. Like he's probably more angry than you've ever seen him. It was definitely unsettling being, I guess, manhandled. And then the whole comment about, you put shock collars on them, and that just set him off. You know,
Air.
so like he's not thinking rationally at the moment.
Okay, so smash.
All right.
Unless Greg wants to talk some sense into us before we do.
I mean, I would try to console Blue mostly and just be like, look, I know this seems terrible, but I got to say, just, cold-blooded murder doesn't appeal to me. I mean, is there any kind of justice in this time or law enforcement?
It's not murder if it's a slaver.
I'm not trying to, go and, just kill everyone and everything. But I mean,
well, I think your two friends are about to go in there and do just that because of you, Blue. So, I mean, if you don't want that to happen.
Well, if we just set everybody free, and if those who are holding them hostage fight back, that's not murder, that's defense, right?
Yeah, okay, also, not because of Blue. Anybody who was doing what they're doing, I would absolutely cut them down. And just saying, like, this has nothing, like, it has a little bit to do with you because the fact that you're upset has upset me, but this is not okay.
Maybe in Greg's time, slavery wasn't as much of a thing.
That's
Maybe.
Probably the case.
Oh, no, it was. I mean, people were, there was laws and it was not, I mean, it was illegal to do so. And people that were caught were prosecuted and punished. It was a little.
You mean you didn't just go through and murder them? Because you kind of have to. Like, otherwise they keep doing this.
We don't really have a whole lot of.
Where do you draw the line? I mean, if everybody murders people who do things they think are wrong, is that right?
You draw the line at, like, trying to own people.
I'm not defending slavery. I'm saying you're making the choice that to you, these people should die. So what if somebody thought you should die because you have red hair?
Well, that's pretty arbitrary, I would say.
Equal. But I also am not opposed to smashing property either way.
Sure. And I think people should be freed. I'm just, I'm not trying to talk you out of helping these people.
Well, Greg, I think that the issue is, you were from a time where there was structure. There's not really a whole.
But isn't that what Unix trying to work towards now?
Right. Don't you dare even.
No.
Bring these people to justice. I agree. It's reprehensible. It's repugnant. It's terrible. And if there's people enslaved, we should absolutely free them.
But does he have what's the word? Something about diction out here?
Jurisdiction. Not if we don't stop Mariana. We won't even have jurisdiction in New Manhattan.
So for context,
okay, look, punch slavers. It's that easy.
For context, Greg, you actually are far less aware of what goes on now. But Red, Goggles, and Blue, they've traveled this world for a while. Sure. And it is kind of mob rule, Wild Wild West, might makes right. So laws and rules are kind of vague and very
more
depending.
Like guidelines.
Yeah, and they vary depending where you're at, or very rarely is there a prison or a penal system. Many times, like if someone is, commits crime in a settlement, they'll be driven out and kind of banished. Depending what the crime is, more severe, they might be hung. But imprisonment usually doesn't happen just because it's costly and inconvenient.
Sure.
Here's a thought. Here's a thought. We can go in and smash their stuff because it's bad stuff, right?
Yeah.
And anyone who isn't actively running away after she says slavers run away, or if you're not a slaver, run away, we can at least bonk them so they're knocked out.
Absolutely.
Put them in the cages they're using on other people and then figure out what to do with them afterwards.
I like that.
Sounds like a fantastic compromise. Plan, Goggles. In fact, in the name of Eunuch and Old Salty Dog and New Manhattan, I am deputizing you three as sheriffs of New Manhattan.
Do you have the authority to do that?
I lean over and whisper to her,
"Go with me. It's the way you're getting what you believe in them." And I am deputizing you to mete out justice in this lawless down under in the name of Eunuch Hopebringer.
I don't understand what that means, but what's our plan?
What's that?
I said, I don't understand what that means, but...
It means if we go with Geigle's plan, then it'll be the first step towards building structure and down here.
All right.
So we can.
I'm sorry, down there.
All right. So Red.
Yeah.
Let's put on scary face.
Show me your mean face, Blue.
Yeah, I don't really do the mean face thing.
Okay, we'll work on it.
I can go rawr.
That's good.
I will point out, Blue, we need keys for the cages if we're going to put the slavers in the cages.
I don't use keys.
But they probably have.
I'm asking if you can
I
find
pull out some wire.
Oh,
I got this.
I see. He doesn't need keys because he makes his own.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Very clever.
I kind of
Gas mask on.
All right. So
I'll make my mean face, which is just like a frowny emoji.
Oh my god.
Not the
I
devil
kinda-
horns? The devil horn emoji?
I think that means something different, Ted.
The horny one?
Oh no.
I will bow and kind of like sweep my arms forward and be like, after you, my lady. Because you're going to announce that they should all run away.
Yep.
So when you come out of the alleyway, you kind of come to the main thoroughfare. Now you can see this enormous tent. The front flap is closed. You can hear the sounds of the crowds inside. You hear someone, calling out and for their next trick. And then you hear the crowds kind of cheering. There's a couple people that are standing out front and they're kind of like bored. Just like they do this all the time.
Dave. I want to go in there. I want to find the trapeze and I want to come down on that.
I was like, that's the face of somebody that's like, I know what I want to do in my turn.
Big and heavy. So someone that's relatively light, you could probably climb up and look like, because where the tent poles are, there's space, so you could kind of like see what's in there if you wanted to scout out. And the tent's fairly big, so if you were to go around to the sides.
Yes.
Okay. So,
Are we all going together, or is Grig and Goggles staying back? Am I going?
I don't think Grig and Goggles would be able to climb it well or not fall through. Blue easily climb it. Red probably not too much trouble.
I mean, I'm proficient in climbing, so I'm climbing in balance, so I'm actually really good.
You're climbing the outside of the tent? Is that what you guys are doing?
I thought we were going underneath the.
Oh, you go. Okay,
You can go underneath
That's
too.
fine.
Whatever you guys
That's
want
fine.
to
Oh,
do.
okay.
I'm just presenting options because the tent is so heavy. You would probably be like the lighter of yous would be able to climb it, and
Oh, if I can go up, I go up.
and you can see like where the main support poles are. There's you can actually look in. There's space for ventilation and stuff.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys want to climb Blue and Red, what does Grig and Goggles want to do?
I don't know. What do you think? It's probably going to get pretty intense. You get it? No.
More
So
intense.
so Blue and Red just like do like easily scramble up this way. I take it.
I mean, are you guys going to scope it out from the outside first and kind of get the lay of the land?
You guys,
That would
I'm
be the
gonna-
smart thing.
I'm going to put my hand on Goggles' shoulder for a moment to just bounce and say, "I'll even take a look inside if you don't mind."
So on either end of this giant tent, right? This giant circus tent. You have the front, right? And it's almost like a smaller tent that goes into a bigger tent, if you know what I mean, like a canopy, almost like an entranceway or foyer. And then there's also one like that on the backside, but even bigger. you're guessing that's probably like their staging area.
So it's like a big ass tent. I mean,
oh yeah,
like,
it's enormous.
Yeah, right.
When he says, I'll be like, hey, we're at war right now, right? Like, this is war. We're getting into this heavy, and it seems like you're a little hesitant. I just want to make sure you're okay with this.
Well, I just watched a man get brutally cut to ribbons and die in my arms. I'm a little shaken up, to be honest with you. I've never really seen stuff like that before.
Yeah, we've grown up with this. This is our life here now. This is the world.
Well, you can count on me.
I want you to know that he would have done the same thing to you if given the chance. Maybe you'd have to look a little different or whatever, but I'm telling you, monsters in your time probably didn't look like monsters in our time. And sometimes you have to do what you got to do to stop the monsters.
I'll do my best to keep you safe and ensure that Blue's family or whatever's in there goes free. I promise you.
So
I got your back, and I know Red and Blue do too.
I am going to intrude on this here.
Okay.
For Greg. You've never actually seen violence like this towards people, right? Since you've been here, you've dealt with monsters and there's been scuffles, but nothing like this brutal and savage. Right. So I'm going to say you're going to be shaken for the beginning part of the encounter for the first round.
Okay.
But you can take an XP and give one.
Oh, I will give one to Blue because this is like his special moment.
Thank you, sir.
You might need it.
I appreciate it.
And if I have a moment, I'm going to use my third eye to just project my mind into the tent and get a look around.
It's up to you guys. You tell me what you're doing and what.
Yeah, I want to do that. That's what. And as you know, I was talking to Goggles to say, well, let me get a look at what's inside. At least we'll know what to expect.
Okay.
And then I'll project my mind in there.
Okay, so what you see when you do this is the lighting is a bit low, but they do have spotlights that they're kind of shining down on the center of the circus tent, and there are 3 rings set up with performing blue spider monkeys in them. And some of them like are riding unicycles, in one of the outer rings. The center rings, they have trapeze set up, and they're doing a trapeze routine without a net, mind you.
So just degrading kinds of stuff.
And then on the far side, it is spider monkeys kind of dressed like clowns, and juggling and doing things of that nature.
And do they all have some kind of collars?
They're all wearing these thick black metallic collars. Do
I see anything that looks like it might be transmitting a signal to these collars in there, like any kind of bank of things? Or
you do see you see some more of the workers kind of they just look like rough men and women, carnies essentially.
Sure.
Monitoring things. There is one person in the center ring calling out what's going on and naming the various spider monkeys. This individual is wearing a rose-colored glasses. He's holding up a silver monkey-headed cane. He's got a jacket with tails. His clothing is red with gold trim and embroidery work, and he's wearing a top hat. He's got a goatee, and he seems to be directing with the action with his cane, while at the same time, calling out to the spectators and to the spider monkeys themselves.
Okay. Then I'll pull my mind back and tell her. I don't want to eat up too much time, but I would tell Goggles that, and if I don't know if we established if everybody had any kind of communications. I just figured Goggles did because he's technology based, but I'll at least tell him that there's a There's a man in the center of the rings. I think he's controlling the shock collars with his. He's got a scepter that has a monkey head on the top. So perhaps if we can neutralize that, they'll at least get them out of danger.
Gotcha.
And I don't know. Do we have any way to communicate between, like, you know? When we're,
I'll
like
say
that?
you and Goggles can. You probably have like short wave radios built into your respective suits, but Red and Blue not so much.
Okay. Gotcha.
Of course, that's how we split up.
Yeah. Right.
Are there any bruisers or bouncers or anything nearby that I can tell?
Not outside. Inside there was a half a dozen people. And
is there a lot of people watching? Like, we're talking dozens, hundreds? I mean, is it like that big, like hundreds, or
there's probably
double digits?
1 to 200 people, spread out in the stands. Yeah, it's an enormous venue.
Okay.
Three main poles holding up the tents.
Yeah, true. That was pretty big. Okay, got it.
So, Greg, do you think we can try to take out the 6 bouncers while Red's coming down? Because when she comes down, she doesn't know about them, and it's going to be kind of a surprise.
Okay, you mean you and I?
Yeah, right now. Let's go.
We get to fight carnies?
Yes.
Should be no problem. Let's do it.
Yes. Did they fight carnies back in your day?
They were just generally mistrusted and disliked. Small hands.
Oh, okay. Well, we are going to go and we are going to bonk the bouncers. Game. You ready? Who can bonk the most?
I hold up my spacesuit fist.
All right, give me stealth checks.
All right.
Great.
Is that speed or might or what is that?
That's going to be speed.
Okay. What's the difficulty?
They are 3s, so it's just going to be 3, so 9. I'm going to say they're distracted because of everything that's going on, so the 3 will drop to a
cool. Goes to the spacesuit is not that distracting. Good enough. 2.
I got a 16.
Okay, you got a 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Better than 1.
Yes.
So, you both kind of like slide underneath of the tent, and Goggles is like an eel, coming in here, kind of just blending in with the shadow. Greg, on the other hand, goes to get up, catches his foot on one of the stakes, and falls, kind of somersaulting into the middle of one of the, not the rings, but the aisles that, between the stands.
That's what you were gonna say.
At the foot of one of the carnies. Goggles, you may act.
Can I bonk the carny that he fell at the feet of? I want to just knock him out.
Go for it.
Okay. What is my difficulty?
These guys are just 9s, and he doesn't know you're there, so we'll say you got a 6.
Okay, I like those odds.
2 and
I got
3.
an 18.
Oh yeah, so that is actually a crit for a +2.
Oh,
and you already do, what is that?
6 with my claw.
6 with the claw. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say you one-shot him, and you smack him on the back of his head, and then kind of can grab him before he falls onto Greg.
I'm so embarrassed.
It's okay. It's okay. This is how this goes.
Okay.
We're good. All right. He's asleep. Nighty night. And I just kind of like pat him on the head a little bit. I'm like, good night. All right. Next one.
So Blue and Red, you guys, scurry up the side. Blue, you're kind of like waiting at the top for Red, but Red is quickly gets up there behind you. So you have the 3 tent poles that you can see, and around them there's a gap, right, where the rope is, and you can kind of like peer over and look in. And you see what I described before. And if you go to the center one, that is where the the trapeze attraction is going on. That also seems to be where the ringmaster is directing the crowd's attention to.
So how many of these little blue creatures are there? And am I able to ascertain how many
Okay, so
markers you could say?
there is 4 of them per circle, so there are 12 of them performing.
Ow. And then what about people who look like they're in uniform, people who look like they're working the circus?
So yeah, as you're counting them, you got the person that seems to be the ringmaster. There were 2 out front, and then there's like 1, 2, 3, 5, and then you see a 6th one just get knocked on the head and drug out of sight.
Wow. All right, so 1 down, 5 to go.
So at this point, just tell me all what you want to do. Drop speed tests, and we'll just go in the order of the speed tests. Goggles and Greg can coordinate, and Blue and Red can coordinate. But the 2 groups are gonna act independently.
I really don't know. I'm kind of just. I saw Goggles bap that guy, so I guess I would just kind of go, probably try to follow his lead and go to the next one and just like,
yeah.
Because actually I'm pretty strong. I just never do anything.
Well, Blue, my suggestion here would be while our companions are lowering their numbers, we could be bolstering ours by taking some of the monkeys that are not currently in the view of the public eye and just taking the collars off.
It works.
Ooh, that's real smart.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not all performing at the same time, right?
No, there's 3 circles, 4 spider monkeys in each doing performing.
Okay.
Oh, so they are all currently have an audience. They all have.
You were wondering if there was ones that weren't out in the ring, right? Ted?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
If there are, you're not sure. You guys haven't gone to that area where they might be the staging area.
Can I make a perception check? Can I do that as my action? Look around and.
Let's see. Yeah, you have to move to like you guys are kind of the center of the tent now. You'd have to move to the end. Go check over there, but you can do that. Go ahead. That's just going to take up a little bit of time.
Sure.
And
what is our DC for our speed check?
So it is only a 3 for going before them, but they're not really aware of you guys. So it's more or less like determining the order you guys are going to go in.
I rolled a 15 and I am trained in danger, so.
Okay. And what do you got, Red?
I've got an 8.
Okay, Goggles?
I got a 16. 15. That's a 15. I lied. 15.
I got an 18. Speed test, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll handle it. Their group, and what they can go first as a group, and then however you want to.
Okay. You're up, Greg. What are you gonna do?
I want to just sort of like so there's just carnies one in the crowd just around, right?
Yeah.
I just want to head over towards one, and if I see him, just like just bop him on the back of the head.
All right, so you kind of
I'm following their lead. That's what they seem to want to do. So.
All right, so you rush one. Make your attack.
Is it just a might check? I've never done this before.
Oh yeah, it's just a might check. Just a might check. You have your inability for.
Right. So what's the difficulty? 5?
It is no. It's a 3, so 9.
Oh.
Plus the difficulty, so it's a 4, so 12.
I'm all jazzed up though, so I'm going to spend effort because I really want to impress guys.
Okay.
And I don't want to be the weakling. Whew, thank God I did. I rolled a 7. Because since it reduced it, right? But with the effort.
So you rolled a 7. It was a 12. You reduced it.
Oh, it was a 12. I thought it was a 9. So I didn't make it then.
Yeah, so you rush him. You kind of hit him, but He kind of just takes it on the chin.
Okay.
And Goggles, what are you doing?
I am probably gonna. Were we gonna split up? That was what I was unsure of, Greg. So did we arrange to split up or stay together?
I don't know. I guess we probably would have. I mean, I wouldn't have just like rushed off of my, willy nilly.
So we probably stayed together.
Sure. If
Okay,
that's cool
I'll try
with
to
you, I don't
bounce
want to
one
tell
he
you.
just did. So we're just like tag teaming these guys.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So my might check, that is a
Team
6.
G, baby.
16 is good.
Yep. All right. So I got him with the claw. So that's 6.
Okay. Oof. But he's still up.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this dude's hardy.
Uh-oh.
And he's going to swing on you since you hit him and hurt him.
Okay.
Give me a speed defense against his 9.
Okay. This is an 18.
Oh yeah, you easily just parry his attack easily. And let's go to the other side. So Blue, you scurry across the tents to that staging area. You can kind of like peel back one of the flaps to look in, and what you see is like 4 more spider monkeys sitting there, kind of on a bench, just waiting with two carnies kind of watching over them. They look kind of dejected and demoralized. What do you want to do, Blue? You're muted.
I really want to, get over to the closest circle of monkeys and see if there's, a handler.
From the staging area or from where they're performing?
Well, now that violence has apparently started. I thought we were supposed to be observing first, and then action was going to happen. I thought there was going to be a whole, Red was going to kick this thing off, but apparently our allies decided to be a little bit more gung-ho first.
Proactive.
No plan survives first contact.
Oh man, sorry.
No, absolutely no worries. This is exactly Blue's life. Everything has to be make a plan fails, change the plan.
Sorry.
God, I'm envisioning Scaredy Squirrel now, dear Lord.
It's so ironic though, because Blue is rarely the one in the danger.
It's true. So I'm going to kind of continue with that whole thought of those two were going to cause their distraction and hopefully make people look the other way, and I will continue on with my thought and see closest circle of potential family members. Does it look like there's somebody who's got a finger on a button, or do they have collars on? Is there anything that I can do to cause more chaos in this mess?
They all have collars on. You don't see anyone that appears to overtly be like waiting to buzz them with a button. Also, they took them quite some time ago. So they might not.
It was, go ahead.
They might not need to buzz them to get them to do stuff anymore.
What were you gonna say, Dave?
Traumatized.
I just said they've been gone for a while. So, and also from what the other carny said, you know, they might not be buzzing them regularly now because, you know, they know if they act out, they're going to get shot.
Right. So am I able to, other than the dude that that those two are squaring off against, do I see anybody else that looks like they're reacting?
Not yet, no.
All right, fine. F it. I'm just gonna shoot the guy that Goggles and Grigger, squaring off against. We said that they're a 4.
They're a 3, and you can have an asset.
Okay, well then I got it. I got a 12.
Okay. Yeah, so you shoot him right through his head.
4 damage.
You blow his brains out. Greg, shot comes over your shoulder. This guy sprawls out.
Does the brains get on my visor?
No, it blows the other direction.
Oh, okay.
And it is now silent. And people are looking around. They're like, is this part of the show? The carnies are looking around. The two that were in the staging area are looking out the tent flap, and the ringmaster is looking around. What are you doing, Red?
So to answer Brian's question, it's a rifle.
Trapeze.
Well,
Trapeze.
yeah, trapeze. I mean,
Give us a speech.
that was the part of the plan can still go through.
Yeah. So
You gonna say anything? You got all these hundreds of people silent.
Yeah,
The stage is yours.
Legitimately, just anyone who's not a slave or run for the exit.
So you're gonna dive through the hole for the trapeze?
Yeah.
All right. Give me a speed check.
Okay, I'm using effort.
Yeah. Do you have anything that's going to help you with this?
Well, I mean, imagine the hook swords would make good hooks. Just saying.
Hook
Ooh,
swords
like
will
hook
make good
onto
sense.
the.
They are for climbing.
So we'll start. We will start at a 4. That brings us to a 3.
Okay.
I don't know what your
It does
skill
not
set.
matter. I just nat 20'd.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Can I do
So-
a flip?
You dive through, and I think and kind of do the flip. And initially, I think your idea was to just hook it with the swords, but you just land on the trapeze, and and then stand up and kind of you're able to do one of these, and you yell, "If you're not a slaver, run for the doors!" And people look very confused at this point. Someone just got killed, and you just made a very impressive entrance. So people are scrambling for either exit right at this point. One of them is not technically an exit for them, but they don't care because there's blood on the floor. And people are kind of looking around. The ringmaster's like, "Get them!" And then the remaining 4 carnies run over towards Brig and Goggles, and the other 2 come out of the side area where they were, and pull out pistols and
gosh.
and point at the most prominent target is Red. So with that, let's say Goggles, you got a scary claw. Give me a speed defense. They're just gonna mob attack you.
Okay.
And it's gonna be a 5.
Okay.
Y'all shooting at him?
No. The 4 of them are running over, just trying to pummel him. But instead of
I'm gonna
making
spend
4 individual
effort.
checks.
I'm going to spend effort and make that less, so a 12.
Okay.
And I got an 18.
All right. So you just kind of
I'm hitting those 18s tonight.
you just kind of like dance around them easily as they, maybe there's not quite enough room for them to get into, get at you.
Nah, they're slipping on the blood.
Some of them may have slipped on the blood. And Red, give me 2 speed defenses for a 3, so 9.
Okay, I passed one, I failed the other.
Okay, so you're going to take 2 points from getting shot, and give me a speed defense to make sure you don't fall. It's going to be the same as before.
19.
You're good. So you're doing really good with those. Yeah, you like fall, catch yourself with the hook sword, swing back up. It was just a grazing shot, stings more than anything. And with that, Greg, you're up.
Oh, boy, let's see. So all those guys are pummeling on Goggles?
Yes, 4 of them.
What's going on with... You know what? I trust Goggles. He's pretty tough. I'm going to far step to the center ring and try to wrestle that scepter out of the ringmaster's grasp. That's my intention anyway.
Okay,
Yes.
let's do a might check.
Okay. First, I got to deplete my pool. The roller coaster begins. Might check.
He's
What's the
gonna
difference?
be a 4, and which makes him a 5 for you, right?
Oh my God.
Believe in you, Doug. You got this, Greg.
I got to show him my different
there you go.
Come on, power score RPG. Nope, 7.
All right. Well, it's a 4 speed defense as he swings that cane at you.
Okay. Oh. Okay, I'm not too bad. Oh man, 3.
He smacks you in the side of the head with it. There's a clang on your fishbowl head, and then a zap as you take 4 points of damage.
Whew, okay. But I do have armor 2, so it's 2 points. That's the might, right?
Yes.
Versus speed. Okay,
Might.
got it. Okay. See what happens. That's my turn.
All right, and as he does, he's like, "You're ruining my show, you hoodlums."
That's the point.
Let's see, Goggles.
Okay, I'm gonna whack another one of these guys.
Okay.
All right. That is a 17.
All right. So that's going to be a minor. It's an extra point of damage. So instead of 6, you'll do 7. Oof! And you hit him in his gut. He kind of hunches over, but does not go down. But he is definitely wobbly.
Okay. And that's all I can do, I think. I'm just kind of like holding my ground here.
And in the meantime, people are still like funneling out. Blue.
All right. You said there's 3 guys with pistols?
2 guys with pistols.
2 guys with pistols? I'm going to shoot at one of them. That is a nat 20. No.
Yes.
That is 2 nat 20s and 2 19s tonight. Dear God.
Ooh.
For the unharmed doomed guy.
Hey, I've had other nights where
I'm just
roll like crap.
casting chaps.
So what is it? 8 damage?
I think it's 4 and 3, right? Or no, 4 and 4. If you take the
So-
extra damage, right?
Totally taking the extra damage.
Yeah. So that'll drop another one.
Totally a neck shot,
Yeah. So Red, it's your turn. So I'm going to give you the last GM intrusion of the night.
Okay.
So you can take an XP and give one away.
Okay. Blue.
Oh, thank you.
Blue rocking it tonight. So, unbeknownst to you, the shot that missed you hit the cable holding the trapeze.
All right.
So as you're swinging, it kind of snaps.
No.
And you're very surprised by this. So give me a speed check with a 1 disability to catch yourself and not fall.
17.
Oh, 17. Yeah, you managed to do it, and you're kind of like swinging, from the trapeze, but the one side is down, so all the way to the ground basically now. So you could either stay up there, or you could easily just slide on down.
Oh, I need to go down. I need to. Can I try to drop on the ringmaster?
Yeah, I'll as part of your action. Sure, give me a speed check for accuracy. Or you know what? We'll do a regular attack with 1 disability because you're going for this high flying, precise maneuver. But if you land it, you'll also do extra damage.
I swear, 19.
So that is a crit with a minor effect or extra damage, depending on what you want to do with it.
Oh, I'll take the extra damage. let's drop assassinate this guy.
Okay, so yeah.
What's the fall effect?
So yes, so he takes the 7 from the from the crit and from your regular hit. And then he's also going to take the fall damage as well. So you're like 30 feet up in the air when you land on him. So that's going to do an extra 3 points in addition to the 7. So he's going to take 10. He's not looking good at all as you slam into him, and I'm going to say he's a little dazed from that hit as well. And then with that, I think that brings us back to Greg.
Oh, to me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and now you are like wrestling, trying to get this cane that you've been whacked up the side of the head with, and apparently has some shocking ability.
Did Red land on him and she's on him? Like I'm picturing like his head in a scissor lock, but that's just what I'm picturing. I didn't know. Or did she just like kick him and bounce up?
Maybe, but I know Red just came flying from 30 feet in the air, landing on him and slashing with her swords.
I want to try to disorient him, and I've never used this ability, so I want to try to erase his memory of the last 5 minutes. See what that does. So I'm just gonna while I'm struggling with him, I'm just gonna say, forget all that you know. And
okay.
It cost me 3 intellect. That's mine.
All right.
And what that does, it's not really long. It says you reach into the mind of a creature within immediate range and make an intellect roll. I don't know what the difficulty is. On a success, you erase the last 5 minutes of their memory.
So it's going to be a 12. He's dazed already, so that's going to take it down to a 9. Should be fairly easy for you.
16.
Yeah.
Woo!
So he's like kind of lost and confused, and I don't know if you've ever talked to a person who's got Alzheimer's and they kind of like just go into a bout of it in the middle of a conversation, but it's very much like that. As he doesn't even know where he's at. Matter of fact, at this point, if you wanted to just pull the cane from his hand, yes, he would not be able to stop you. He's so unaware.
And if he looks confused, I'll say, "We're here to ruin your show, remember?" I'm just
goggles.
I'm just gonna whack another dude. Is the one that I hit in the stomach? He's still up, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna knock him out. That's my goal, at least. 7. I think that doesn't work.
7 does not. He you hurt him more than you thought. He drops to his knees and you like swing over his head. But give me a speed defense while you're there.
Okay.
So for these guys,
18 again. My gosh.
oh god, you are untouchable. You're just like dancing around them doing
Goggles
ballet.
is sponsored tonight by the number 18.
Apparently, exactly.
No, let's be fair. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Critical.
Yeah, that's what you got.
So many 17 and higher.
What you didn't tell
guys are
anyone, you used to be part of the synchronized swim team, and
Yes.
That's what's going on right now.
That's my dark secret.
We won't tell anybody.
And Blue.
All right, so there's one guy left with a rifle or with a pistol.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a shot at him. So that's a 9. It's gonna be a miss.
No, 9 is going to hit. That just hits.
Okay, 4 damage.
So it does not take him out, and he will return fire.
So speed defense.
Speed defense of 4 or 3.
4,
These guys are 3s.
3. I'm trained, so that's a 6. That's an 11 on the die.
Yeah, so you easily like kind of roll out of the way as he starts firing. And then Red.
16.
Ooh.
Okay, so you just wail on him for another 4. And he's kind of like, whoa. Don't stop.
No.
Stop hitting me.
Did you say no?
Yes.
No, we'll nap that.
So at this point, I'm going to say these guys are going to go into full route mode, except for the ringmaster, because you kind of have him pinned. Their buddies are being shot and killed. The ringmaster is being pinned and cut the ribbons, and they have no idea what's going on. But whatever it is, they don't get paid enough. So we can kind of drop out of initiative. And you guys can tell me how you want to proceed. And all the spider monkeys are kind of like huddling together in the center, kind of scared.
I'm gonna scan that thing and see if I can figure out how it works, so I can presumably.
Yeah, I mean you can find a button on it that like.
No, I'm gonna spend my pool.
Okay.
I'm spending it.
Spend away. Well, you find a
I enjoyed
button
the roller coaster ride. Whoa!
that toggles, right?
Mhm.
And one of them will send out a signal, and one way, another way actually charges the rod itself.
Oh yeah, I don't want to do that.
Which is what he did to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if there's just some way to like, I don't know. I don't actually know if it was like control, like lacking the calories, but I was guessing maybe it was.
Yeah.
So try to turn it up.
And so right, he's just kind of pleading and begging for his life. You can straight up murder him though if you want to, and we'll just say
Oh
he's
no,
dead.
that would be too easy.
Okay.
I'm gonna pin his hands, and I'm gonna be like, somebody bring me one of those collars.
What's Blue doing? Is he trained us?
So the dude with the pistol who turned tail to run,
Yeah.
totally gonna shoot him in the back.
Okay. Take a shot. He's running away, so it's gonna be one easier.
That's it's a 15 on the die, so it's another 4.
Okay, he was already injured. Yeah, he goes down in a spray of blood.
And then I would, begin moving. I mean, he shot at me and Red, so but after that, I would begin moving down. I still think there's like 2 or 3 people who are running away, but I'm gonna, try to approach the, the monkey people, and I would sling my weapon back before I approach them.
Okay. Yeah, so they're kind of huddled and they're like hesitant at first, but then they see that you're one of them, and they start kind of whispering to each other and pointing. They appear to be pointing at your neck, and then
Shake my head.
and then you see like the recognition come over their faces that or lack of, that they don't know you, and you're not Like you're not one of the ones that's been traveling with them for the last year or two.
But they do, they do speak. They are like me, right?
Yes.
Um, so the devices around their neck, does it appear like there's an actual locking mechanism that would have a keyhole?
Yeah, in the back there's a keyhole where apparently a key goes in, turn it, will open it up.
Do any of you recognize my face?
One of them kind of comes forward. This one has some white hairs mixed in with their blue hairs. You kind of look like, and it's feminine. You kind of look like Penelope's boy. At least you look like Penelope. You smell like her some. And Toga.
What? What did they say about Toga?
You smell like Toga as well.
Are they here?
No, they did not. They did not survive.
Well, I don't really remember them. The earliest memory I have was people like me, wagon like what's out there, driving away. You know where the key is to unlock you?
She nods at the ringmaster. The master keeps all the keys.
Oh, Red.
Mm-hmm.
They say that he's got the keys.
Well, come take the keys, and then bring me one of those collars.
So I will, rifle through the dude's pockets and see if I find a key ring.
Yeah, you can definitely find them.
So I'll, totally just start, unlocking collars and.
I'm gonna while you're over there, Blue, I'm gonna give you that scepter and I'll just point out how it works to you. I'll be like, this is, if you hit this, that's what causes the pain, and whatever else it did, I don't know, but just real quick, Alex, and I'll just give it to him. I'll be like, I think that's you know what to do with this.
So, you make that exchange. You start unlocking them. Someone brings a collar over to Red. Red is standing over the ringmaster with the open collar. And that's where we're going to end tonight.
Nice. What a ride. Woo!
Yeah, for
Thank
real.
you, Dave. Oh my goodness.
So with that, I want to thank you guys for playing as always, and thank everyone for watching. Greatly appreciated. We definitely needed this game, especially had a rough weekend with a lot of stuff going on, and we had a week off, so it was good to get back in the saddle with you fine folks. And until next time, stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.
Nerdy.